Hi everyone, welcome back to Plum Mashable. So today's video is going to be combining two of my favourite things at the moment. I'm going to be combining Planners Anonymous with a reveal wheel. So if you want to see how I made this card, then just keep watching. Alright, so I wanted to show you how I'm going to combine two of my favourite things. So one of them is my Planners Anonymous kit and the other is the reveal wheel die from Lawn Fawn. So you would have seen the intro to that I did last week. So if you haven't seen that one yet and you're sort of getting a little bit lost while I'm doing this, pop over to that one because that's where all the in-depth sort of details are. But I really wanted to use Barista Brunch to kind of make a coffee kind of themed card. I don't know why. It jumped at me and Sammy thought it was awesome, so I'm going to give it a go. So I'm going to start off with this chalkboard style kind of bit of paper. And this is where I'm going to grab my die. And I'm also going to grab the square speech bubble add-on. So this is not included in the die set, but is a little extra that you can get, which is going to cut this cute little speech bubble shape. So I'm going to line it up. I want this corner with the coffee. I'm going to grab some washi tape to hold it still. I am actually going to have to cut this down first. So I'm going to do the scary thing and cut my paper. I hate this bit. I really do. I hate it. I really hate cutting planners on this paper. I'm always scared I've stuffed it up. So we're going to have it right at the top. So it's got this sort of coffee thing in the middle. In a perfect world, it would be on the other side because that's kind of where my guy's going to stand. Actually, I might find a way to put him on this side. We'll work this out in a sec. So I'm grabbing a bit of tape and I'm just rubbing it on my clothes so I take off some of the tack. And I have already made sure that the speech bubble is pretty solidly held in there. Grab my die machine. I'm just going to take out my metal shim. I'm just going to run this through and hope for the best. No, I'm kidding. It's no problem with this part. So I'm going to run that through. And because that's already pretty thick cardstock, I don't have to mount this on anything. I can just leave it the way it is, which is fantastic. So when we pull all this out, we've got this awesome, and I'll admit if I had my way that dot would be slightly off the other way, but that's alright. It's not horrible. We've got this awesome little cutout. So what I want to do then is I kind of want to set this up like we're walking into a restaurant and we're having our orders taken. So it is going to work this way. So I just got to work a way to get, the speech bubble we can flip. So the speech bubble will flip around. So we'll have a little speech. I'm actually going to cut that out now. I'm just going to do it in white for the moment, but I could change my mind later. I haven't decided. So I'm just going to grab that little bit of, I was going to say post-it note tape. I've been watching too many Lawn Fawn videos. Just washi tape, and I'm just going to run this through the die cut machine again. So I'm just going to, this is just an off-cutter cardboard that I have hanging around. Whoops. Just run that through. And you'll see, because we put that through just a plain white paper, the border we can actually flip to the other side. So I'm just going to give this, it doesn't look as good because it's sort of round the other way, but I think it'll look better than if, I might actually have to have that a different colour. Because if it's over that side, which is what this is supposed to be, it's kind of going to cut off where I want it to be. I want him to be here. I'm just going to try something because I can. I'm just going to cut this. I'm going to see. This is where I need my tweezers because I have no fingernails. Just going to use these ones because these ones hold it shut. So I'm going to cut that. Oops, it's too small. I can't even pick it up with my tweezers. Just wondering if I can sort of flip it. I don't think I can. I'm just going to cut it off and not have it as a speech bubble and just have it as a border. And I think that'll still get the same. And I won't get rid of that little bit. I'm just going to hold on to it on the top of my die cut machine and we'll see if we can work something out with it later. So what we're going to do from here, we're going to actually start making our wheel. That's our background done already. And all I'm going to do is just cut him off at the legs. I'm going to put him up on some foam tape, and what I've already done is pre-cut out a stitch background square. That's not the right one. There it is. So this is the exact same size as this one, but I'm using, instead of having an extra bit, I'm just going straight onto the black, which I'm then gonna put some heat emboss powder on that. We're going very, very fancy today, guys. So I've already pre-cut out my reveal wheel mechanism, but I'm thinking what I want to do is actually cut it out of some brown, so it's got this kind of coffee color behind it instead. So I'm just grabbing out the papers. I don't want that brown. This is the paper I'm going to use. So I'm going to use I'm going to cut these out and stick these on the wheel. So what I might do is cut the wheel out of the brown, and then we can mount the pictures on the other side. So I'm just going to run this through the die cut machine. Whoops, that's not what you do. That was very silly. Let's try this, shall we? Because the paper's not going to cut anything. So I've got my little reveal wheel. Just trying not to lose all my little bits and pieces. So what I want to do, so sort of if you can go along with me here, the idea will be when you spin this around, you're going to get a little glimpse at a different kind of coffee. Now these are too big, and they were too big no matter what I did. So what I thought I'd do is actually embrace the fact that they're too big and just use them anyway. So I'm going to cut out, I definitely need 3, and I might be able to fit on 4. So I'm going to cut this down the middle, and I'm just going to fussy cut out 4 of these. I'm going to do the latte, I'm going to do the macchiato. I'm not going to do the cappuccino because I know it's too big. I'm going to do the espresso. And I'm going to do the frappe because that would be what I would drink. So I'm just going to fussy cut these out. The spoon on the side of the latte, I'm going to just cut that off because it's not going to work anyway. So I'm just going to cut around these, and then we'll work out how we put these on my wheel. So I'm also going to cut these right on the line. I want there to be not as much white space around the outside if I can avoid it. So I've got my little coffee things all cut out. Now not the bonus, but because we're only having them sort of peep in here, obviously you're going to see the background, which is fine, but I didn't have to worry too much about cutting these out because I'm not like cutting out the handles because they probably won't get seen anyway. If they do, I'll fix that up when we get there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this where you need to put it, and you do this by moving it around till you can't see the emboss lines, which are really hard to see on camera but really easy to see in person. And I'm just I have a better idea. I'm gonna grab my template because I have the template for this one. I forgot. I'm just gonna line that up. And because we're sticking things down instead of drawing them in, this is more just so I'm probably still going to have to put pencil lines on here anyway, but it's just, I'm going to use the template just for a second just to sort of see if I can fit 4 of them on, because I should be able to if I cut them down. 4's going to fit fine. And then that, I'll have it sitting just lower so you just don't quite see it. Okay. So I'm just going to grab a lead pencil. I almost wish I had chalk. I hate rubbing out on coloured paper because I'm always petrified. I have a better idea. Because this sort of flips up and down, I'm going to sort of put it and flip it and then put it back, and that should help me put it in the right spot. So I'm going to use a little bit of washi to sort of hold it still for a second. So we'll sort of line that up where I think it's going to go. Flip this over. I'm going to leave the white in that case. So that one's got a little bit of white there. I'm going to use a quickie glue pen to put this down because no, I'm going to use glue tape. So I'm just going to put a little bit of tape on the back of this one. Grab my tweezers again, just so I hold this up for a second. So it's going in there. So I'm just going to line that up where I want it. And then we'll press it down. So that's the easy one because that's obviously the smallest, so it's easiest to put down. This one, I'm just going to do the exact same thing. So open up the little template thing here, put this down where I think it's going to go. And then we'll just wander it around till I'm happy. And then I'm going to mark. I really hate pencil marks. They drive me bonkers. And I notice them, no one else does, but I do. So I have the smallest pencil line ever there. And I'm going to cut just below it and just straight. Put the glue tape on again. If we can get this. This one might be a bit easy just to put straight in. Tuck it in under the template. That might be the easy way to do this. So you need to just work out where we need to cut it, and then it's actually not so hard to stick them in. So I'm just going to do the same thing with this one. And there's our little wheel. Now it looks a little messy now, but when we put this all together, it'll look great. I'm just going to take off all that tape. All right, so now we're going to start to assemble this. I'm going to put the border on first. I'm going to use glue pen for this because it needs to sort of move around a little bit more. Tape sort of a little bit less forgiving. So I'm just putting all the glue around the outside. I'm going to put my little guy. Half of me wants to chuck him through with the with the reveal wheel so that I get the stitching, and I think that might be going a little bit too far, but then at the same time it would look really cool. So I'm just going to use a little bit of washi just to stick him down. This is where I'm having so much fun playing with dyes and stuff because I get to do weird things like this. So I'm just holding that together and I'm just going to run that through the machine again. Then, this is why you do it, for this cute little detailed little pop. So now he's got stitching on the bottom, so it looks like he's part of the card, which even though we're going to put this up on some foam tape, is just going to be so super cool. So I'm just grabbing the foam tape. Our little guy, so he's sitting on there and that stitching detail looks so cool. Alright, now we get to actually assemble this. So this is a stitched rectangle. It is the exact same size as this, it's just that I haven't cut out the notch because I want it to be kind of being able to put a little thing on here that says turn me. So I'm just going to really quickly do that first. I'm going to do that with embossing powder. So this is again a little bit, I've gone a little bit up, but that's okay. In case you haven't seen embossing powder before, I am going to show you very quickly. I didn't mean to do that. So I'm going to grab first of all some powder, and what this does, I'm just going to sort of put it in the area near where I'm going to stamp this, and that takes away all the static. So hopefully when I stamp this down, it's just going to be on the area. Like the embossing powder will just stick to the area I want it to stick. This is from the Review Wheel Sentiments. I'm going to get this little one here that says Turn Me. Just grab my little stamp block. So you put it just there. I'm just going to stick this together just for a second, just so it doesn't wobble around while I'm doing this. So I've got little Turn Me. This is Versamark ink, which is just really sticky ink. We'll stamp that down. Won't look like much yet. Then we get our embossing powder, our little spoon. Oh, that might be the best one I've ever done. Usually I get little sprinkles of it everywhere. And we just put the excess back in the container. We can use that again later. And then I'm just going to grab my heat tool and I'm just going to heat this up till the powder melts. So then you can see it's got this beautiful bright white sentiment there, which is really cool. Just grabbing anything to kind of wipe off the powder. I just use this fluffy pom-pom just because it's handy. And then we can start actually putting our reveal wheel together. So we'll grab our front bit back in again. Need to get the little extra wheel that we've stuck in here already. This is one I cut out earlier, and if you watch the video that I did last week, you'll see all the bits and pieces of how to do this properly. So I'm just going to line this up, make sure it's in the right spot, and then just with some washi tape, I'm just going to hold it still. I had thousands of bits of washi and they've all gone because I've now moved it. I just want to make sure it's in the right spot again. So I'm just going to hold that in the right spot. I'm going to grab some of my skinny foam tape and I'm just going to cut 3 little squares to put on the little circle. 3, great place to use little bits of extra spare foam that you've got hanging around. And we're going to stick these 2 together. Go. And then all we need to do is just remove the front again because the wheel is now adhered to the back. So I'm just making sure that's really on there. And then we can remove the washi. So you can see that just spins around in there. Oh, that's so cool. And then to finish it off and to bring it up, so you just need to give this a bit of height. We're just going to put foam tape all around the outside. Now, if I had black foam tape, I would use that in this situation because obviously I have black everything else. I don't have black foam tape. So I'm just going to use what I've got. And I kind of go overboard when I do this. I said it in my other video as well. I would prefer to have too much and it be solid as all heck than have little loose bits. All you need to do is just make sure that no matter where you put the foam tape, it doesn't hit the wheel. If it hits the wheel, it's going to cause a problem. So I like to use a bit of a combination of thick foam, little leftover bits of foam, and some skinny foam. Then we're going to stick this on. Now, the easiest way, is to do it the same way we just put the wheel on. Just hold it up like this and push. Sometimes that works easier than other times. Yeah, be nice to me. I really want it to be perfect, so I'm being really careful. Alright. If I ever have trouble like this and I just can't get it to go together like doing it that way, sometimes you just have to do it by eye from above. And there we have our little reveal wheel, which when you spin it round changes all the different kinds of coffee. Oh my god, that actually worked out. I seriously didn't think it would. I seriously didn't. There's just an extra little bit behind here that's kind of driving me nuts because it's not quite solid enough. So I'm just going to add in, oh, well that's why I didn't take the release paper off. There we go, that's better. So there we go, there's our little reveal wheel. What I have already done is pre-cut out an extra bit of black. Now I'm not liking it because it's sort of got this wobble thing happening, but I'm hoping when I stick it down on a bit of white cardboard that it will actually work. So I'm just grabbing that piece of white cardboard, and I want this to be a top opening card, so I'm going to grab, I think that'll fit. Just going to measure this really quick. Grab my scoreboard in because that makes doing this part a little bit easier. I'm going to put the black on just with foam, with normal tape, and then we're going to mount up the reveal wheel part because it makes it a little bit easier to spin the wheel. Whoops! I'm just going to fix that edge because it's a little bit too wide. And sometimes it's just easier to start too far out and just bring it in. So we're going to mount that up. Another big row of foam tape all along here. Because the notch isn't cut out, it does make this a little bit easier. Now that still isn't quite, I don't know why it's sort of cut with a bit of a wave in it. I'm hoping that whoever gets this card doesn't notice it. Put that in the middle there. There we go. Oh, that's so cool. And then you can turn it and the coffee changes. And then on the inside, I'm kind of going to cheat just a little bit. I'm just going to grab one of the quote cards. So I kind of want this to be like a, kind of almost like a come hang out at brunch with me kind of card. That's my sort of plan with it. I'm just going to cut this to a 6.4 by 6.4 square, and then I can cut the quote card to fit it because I want it to have a black backing to kind of bring in from the front. 6 by 4 by 6.4. That didn't turn out too badly. So I'm just going to stick that down with some tape. Okay. And then just stick this down on the inside. You could put this on the outside if you wanted to. Like you could put a sentiment on the outside. I don't think you could put this on the outside. You could, you just have to cover up the awesome writing there. There we have a little reveal wheel combining Planners Anonymous and my reveal wheel. I love this. I'm actually so proud of it. When I had this idea in my head, I didn't actually think it was going to work, and I can't believe it actually has. The only thing I'm just going to try and do, so I've just got that little bit of the speech bubble that I cut off. I'm just going to have it sit there for a second. Whoops. I don't think I can make it work. There's just a little mark on my frame there, so I'm just fixing it. I guess what I could, I'm really scared to do this, but I'm going to give it a go. I'm just going to draw it in. I'm not a very good drawer, but that's actually not too bad. So I've just used a white gel pen there just to write on the black. It's not perfect by any stretch, but I think it looks better than just having the frame, and because it's coming straight from his head, it actually looks really cool. So that is my little reveal wheel combining the two. Please let me know what you think down below and leave me any suggestions on other reveal wheels you think I could make using any other kit that you've ever seen me have. I have so many ideas. Now that I know this works, I have ideas. Let me know down below though what your ideas are, and make sure you subscribe if you did enjoy this video and want to see more combos of like Lawn Fawn and Planners Anonymous, or Lawn Fawn and kikki.K, or kikki.K and Planners Anonymous. Who knows? So many cool combinations we could come up with. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you again in my next video. Sending lots of huggles. Bye!